I was watching a documentary about Jeffrey Epstein on Netflix last night, and it honestly left me shaken. While I was lying in bed watching, one of the girls shown on the screen looked strangely familiar. It took me a second, but then it hit me. I recognized her. She was someone I had known when I was younger. Instantly, memories I hadn't thought about in years came rushing back, and it made my chest tighten. I grew up in a quiet suburb in California with extremely strict parents. They were very controlling, no hanging out, no phone calls, no sleepovers, nothing unless it was school related. On top of that, my dad worked at my elementary school, so I always had to stay in line. So when I finally reached middle school, it felt like freedom for the first time. I could talk to people, make friends, and start showing who I really was. After about a year, I became close with two girls. I'll call them Ava and Lily. They were both popular, outgoing, and seemed more mature than everyone else. Ava especially stood out to me. She talked about things that felt completely off the limits in my world, like staying over at boys' houses. To me, that sounded unreal. I thought she was the coolest person I've ever met. The three of us quickly became inseparable. Same classes, same lunch, we were always together. But there was one problem. My parents never allowed me to go with them. They invited me constantly, and every time I had to say no. I felt left out watching them spend so much time together without me, something I would later be grateful for. One day during lunch, Ava pulled me aside and asked what I thought about skipping school for a day. I immediately said no. I knew the school would call home, and I couldn't imagine how my parents would react. But she kept bringing it up every day, pushing the idea until I eventually gave in. We planned everything out. The idea was simple. My mom would drop me off like usual, I'd meet them outside, and we'd walk to a nearby convenience store where someone would pick us up. It felt risky but also exciting in a way I had never experienced before. One thing that stood out though, Ava kept reminding me to wear something that made me look innocent. I didn't think much of it at the time. The day came and everything went according to the plan. We met up and started walking towards the store. But on the way, Ava's phone kept ringing non-stop. She kept telling people to meet us there, which confused me because I thought it was just going to be the three of us. When we got there, I saw a group of girls already waiting. There were quite a few of them. All of them around our age. Some looked familiar from school, others I didn't recognize at all. The whole situation felt strange. Then Ava suddenly shouted something about making money, and a lot of girls got excited. That's when I started to feel uncomfortable. I pulled Lily aside and asked her what was going on, but she didn't answer. She just looked at me in a way I'll never forget, like she was trying to warn me without actually saying anything. A few minutes later, two dark sedans pulled up quickly in front of us. Ava started organizing the girls into groups and sending them into the cars. One of the drivers, an older man, rolled down his window and casually asked us if we were ready to go. Some girls got in without hesitation. When it was my turn, something didn't feel right at all. I started questioning everything. Where people were going, who were these people, and why none of this had been explained. Ava seemed annoyed and said I was the only one causing a problem. Then she made a comment about how I could make a lot of money because of the way I looked. That was enough for me. Even though I didn't fully understand what she meant back then, I knew something was wrong. I backed away and ran straight back to school. After that day, I stopped spending time with Ava completely. She tried reaching out a few times, but I couldn't ignore the feeling that something wasn't right. I would still occasionally see her leaving the school with other girls, heading in the same direction. Lily started to change over time as well. she became quieter and more distant and seemed completely attached to Ava. Eventually, she stopped coming to school altogether. Years later, I found out she had passed away. And after watching the doc, I'm convinced she was one of Epstein's victims and Ava was one of his recruiters. Looking back now, I realize how close I might have come to a dangerous situation, and how one decision, even a moment of hesitation, can change everything. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new one. And if you have a story of your own, could be real or fictional, that you would like to see featured on this channel, send it to me via mail. Your story could be the next one I narrate. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.